My name is Scylla, and today we're going to go ahead and be covering a couple of hacks that were picked up over the last few years of being interested in the fashion. If you are watching this, I'm going to assume that you know quite a few of them, if not all of them. However, hopefully there might be one or two things that you will pick up that is new. Now, ideally, I would like to actually show all these things and do them and show you exactly step by step how to get them done. Unfortunately, I am not that fancy. I don't have that much free time. So I will, however, try making videos in the future going over just a few of these steps for fun, and also because I think it'll be helpful. If you hear any loud sawing in the background, I'm so sorry. Right as I began filming, the guys started going to work outside and I can't really ask them to stop, so let's go ahead and jump in. Hack number one is heavy wigs. Now this one is primarily focused on very thick, long wigs that are very heavy, and because there's more weight in the back, they usually tend to, kind of slide backwards on your head. And bobby pins work, but they don't really work well, at least in my experience, unless I put 10,000 of them in there. It takes a little bit of time and effort, but I would really suggest getting a whole bunch of little wig clips if you are very big on buying wigs. You sew them in and you can actually clip them into your own hair, and I find that that works better than anything else. Now, if your wig actually already comes with wig clips, but you can still see the hairline at top, that probably means that the bangs need to be trimmed to fit your own forehead. Also, and you can use just normal wig glue for this, but a lot of the times we don't normally have that on us. So if you have your own hair showing, you have dark hair but you're wearing a blonde wig but you want to hide that, you can just use eyelash glue to pull some down, stick it over there, and you won't have to worry about the wind blowing and you just seeing a whole chunk of dark hair back there. Hack number two is waist ties. Now, I'm sure everybody knows this at this point. However, some dresses do come with buttons at the sides, which means that your waist ties can come off. And the trick is that you do it while your waist ties are in front of you, or you can put them on a dress form, get them done there, and then apply them to your own dress after you already have it on your body. That way you're not going behind you and twisting and trying to figure out if it looks right or not. 3 is broken accessories. That really sucks when your jewelry breaks. However, if it is a plastic bangle or ring, you can use glue to simply put it back together. I personally would skip getting any super glue or your hot glue gun though, and instead go with something like E6000. For me, that has always worked and lasts forever basically. Since I've used it on plastic, on glass, on wood even, and metal and fabric, and it just always does the job. Number 4 is dealing with sliding socks. Now, there's a reason that sock tape was created. However, we don't always have time to run out to the store and buy that. So what you can do is wear a pair of tights underneath your OTKs or normal socks, just a plain nude colored tight. And you can put double-sided tape underneath, and it should work the same because with the fabrics both touching together, it should stick because there's actual friction there. Whereas if you were to just put it on your own skin, you'll get sweaty and stuff. So alternatively, you can also get yourself a cute pair of garters to keep your OTKs up. Number 5 is dirty socks. Now, the truth is that a washing machine can usually only do so much, especially when it comes to things like the sole of the sock. So this actually isn't really so much an emergency because you can't really see the bottom of the sock when you're wearing it out and about. But you may find that once in a while you want to get that cleaned. So the very old school household trick is to simply mix together baking soda and a kitchen dishwasher detergent and pour that onto the stain, and then cover that up with some vinegar, just a little bit, rub that all together, and then soak that in water, wash it out, rub it, and let it dry, and the stain should more or less be, if not completely gone, mostly gone. Number 6 is piling, which will happen on mostly cotton materials, and in which case you can simply take a shaver. It doesn't have to be a fancy shaver or anything. It can be your basic, double blade. And you gently just take it and you, after which you would take a lint roller to clean up all the stray little pieces that you shaved off. However, please remember to be extremely gentle and take your time when doing it, because it's very easy to just tear right through it. When it comes to really delicate knitted materials, I would suggest just investing in a fabric defuzzer. Number 7 is dealing with yellowing lace. Now in this case you can still use the whole baking soda method, but I think what'll really help is using OxyClean. What you want to do, like you would with the baking powder, is make a paste out of it. Mix the powder with the water and get a toothbrush, and then you put some of it on the yellowing lace and you just scrub away gently. Scrub, scrub, scrub. It should really help to remove any of that yellowish color, and after which you would just remove any debris with a damp paper towel. There are also bleach pens that help with this, but I would be careful using anything that has bleach in it on very delicate materials, as it can destroy them. Number 8 is dealing with small stains while out and about, or maybe even indoors. For that, I simply use this little Tie-to-Go pen. It is very helpful and has done wonders for me personally. Number 9 is Wrinkled Dresses. Now, your first option is obviously going to be an iron. However, you may be afraid to use it on your dresses, especially if they're more delicate. Moreover, if you are traveling someplace, it can be a little difficult to chuck around this giant thing with you. So you can just use a steamer instead. There are little tiny travel-sized ones that you can also buy. I use steamers on all my dresses and it really helps. Now, a steamer won't have the same effect as an iron, but it does get the job done, and it even leaves the dresses feeling just fresh and rejuvenated afterwards. Number 10 is dirty shoes, and the easiest method that I've found to take care of this is makeup wipes. They help remove dust, they get away any stains. Sometimes they even help with scratches, but it depends on whether, it like really broke through the fake leather or whatever. Even if you haven't worn them in a while, I would still suggest taking a makeup wipe and going over any white shoes that you have, just so that it helps keep it from yellowing. Number 11 is dealing with shoes that are just a little too big. Now, assuming that they're not like, size and a half over, you should just be able to get by with a cushion for the back and also a thicker pair of socks. They're really cute ruffled wintry ones that you can wear. Or you can also try wearing like a normal ankle sock underneath your OTKs or whatnot, your stockings and stuff, and see if that works. Or if the colors match even outside of the basic Lolita brand socks, for that extra variety and plus points for your cord. The next is dealing with shoes that are just a little bit too small. Now let's say you ordered a pair off of Lace Market and they said that they were your size, but really you can fit into them but not comfortably at all. But you have a con to go to in a week and you can't really wait to get a pair of shoes online. Now, I don't really think that this method would work if you're a size 7 and the shoe that you got is a size 5. You can always try. I don't think it would work quite as well, and this has worked for me. So what you do is you take the shoes and you put a Ziploc bag in each of them, and then you fill that bag up with water. And you want to fill it up nice. Don't go over the shoe, but fill it up so that it is full. And zip it up and then put them in the freezer and leave them overnight or longer. And the freezing of the ice will help stretch out the shoes, but it'll be a very slow process and it shouldn't do any damage to the shoes. And I've done this, I will be doing it again, so I can actually probably film that and you'll see that it works. Number 13 is Squeaky Shoes. So I've had this happen mostly with boots that I've had, where when you have two pieces of faux leather hitting each other every time you take a step, it's just like squawk, squawk, squawk. So what I found is that if you put baby powder in between the materials of the fabric, it'll really help soften it and they stop squeaking. Number 14 is Droopy Bows, because sometimes when you get a dress, maybe the stitch broke off or something and you don't feel like sewing it up, or sometimes for some reason the bows were just designed to just hang there sadly instead of spreading their wings. If you don't feel like doing any sewing yourself, just go ahead and buy a bunch of little tiny baby safety pins and turn that little crown upside down. So number 15 is sad petticoats. And I'm sure we all have this fear. Nobody wants to have to deal with a deflated petticoat because it's just the saddest thing for Lolitas. So the way old trick from way back when, from before any of us, were a thing, the ladies from years past would basically starch their petties. And what this consists of is taking some cornstarch and boiling some water, creating a mixture so that it's nice and smooth, there's no like big fat lumps, and then soaking your petticoat in there, letting it sit, and then eventually hanging it to dry outside. Ideally this should work, but I have heard cases where it doesn't work as well on certain materials. I've also heard of people just like flipping their petticoat upside down and using hairspray on it, which I will attempt to do myself sometime. I haven't yet, but I'll see how that goes. Ideally what you could do is actually go buy some tulle or organza and sew it onto the petticoat yourself, because even if you aren't that good at it, it doesn't matter what it looks like because it's still going under your dress. So you can create that poof that you want specifically. But again, if you aren't comfortable with that, that's totally okay. Number 16 is peeling bags. Now the best way to prevent this is to put a top coat onto the bag. However, it's inconvenient, and if you're spending all this money on a bag, it just seems a little bit like, do I really need to? If you notice it starting to peel, like the very beginning stages, that's when I would jump in and put the top coat, just for any preventative measures. If you have sections that are already gone and they can't be fixed, you can always DIY, add some bling, add some little decals to it, or ribbon. Now if your bag is really damaged, like beyond repair, the leather is like 50% gone, I would just repaint it. I will actually be doing this in the future. I don't need the bag right now, so it's not really a priority of mine, but when I do get to it, I'll film it. Basically what it would consist of is sandpapering the bag to make sure that all the peeling is gone, using some kind of magic eraser to get like a clean surface, and then getting the paint. What I've found to be the easiest is, I think it's Angelus? Angelus? I think it's Angelus, I'm not sure. But you can buy it on Amazon. Basically you just start by putting like an anti-glaze on the bag itself, and then you paint over that. There are a bunch of different colors that you can get, but you can also mix colors, so if you need a certain shade of pink, just get like a dark pink or even a red. But yeah, you just get red and white and find that right shade that you're looking for. Do a couple of coats, and then afterwards use a sealer over that. This actually leads into point number 17, which is ugly shoes. You can also repaint your shoes by using the exact same method. However, without the sandpapering, I don't really think that would be necessary unless you're trying to remove like the top faux leather part of it. If you have really tiny feet or extremely large feet, you can find other shoes out there, like at the thrift store or wherever. If they're Mary Jane like, you can take those and you can turn them into your own Lolita shoes. There's all these tools and all these ways that you can do it. You just have to do the research. Number 8 is reusable wrist cuffs. Now by default all wrist cuffs are reusable, but what I mean in this case is what is a main color? What is like the main base color in your own wardrobe? For me, it would be white. So let's go ahead and say that I have just a plain white pair of wrist cuffs. They're really cute, but there's no bows or anything on them. What I could do is, because I wear a lot of sweet, I could make all the little bows individually and I could add little safety pins to them. And instead of having to go out and buy mint wrist cuffs or lavender wrist cuffs and pink and blue, but you know, purple is difficult because there's like 7 different shades. Like, ribbons themselves are very cheap and you should be able to get them at really any basic store. Michael's or any other craft store will have it. Walmart has them. Target has them, I'm pretty sure. Basically, you'd just be making your own little wrist cuff toppers and, you know, putting them on the wrist cuff itself every time. I just think it's a way to be a little more cost effective rather than going out and buying every shade of wrist cuff that you can. Number 19 is vivid lips. Now, some of us really like that hard lipstick color with our sweet or whatnot. Other people like their makeup to be a little more reserved and just have a hint of color. But let's say that you have one lipstick that matches just a little shade in your dress and it's really pretty and they just go so good together and it fits. But you know, if you were to apply that to your entire lip, it would just be too harsh. Now I'm talking about more hard colors like reds and oranges and hot pinks. You may find that, you know, despite the color going so well, you know, once worn on your face, it's just a little bit too much. But you can still wear the color, and what you can do is simply just apply it to the very center of your lips instead of the whole thing. And then maybe coat that up in gloss or lip balm depending on what you prefer. It'll be very subtle, but it'll still have that little pop of color that matches without anything being too bam. Number 20 is eyelashes. Now let's say that you unknowingly used up all your good lashes and all you have left are the cheap little basic ass, you know, straight flat ones that look like they're from the 60s, but they were like 99 cents for 10 pairs off of eBay. Once on, they look okay, but they're not the best. What you can do is just take a spoolie and rub it through the eyelashes just to spread them apart a little more and make them look a little more doll-like. And number 20 is buying things for cheaper than you normally would. Black Friday. It happens once a year, and every single year, every place, not every place, but most places do this awesome thing where everything's on sale. It blows my mind that even Lace Market takes part in this. People will start listing their stuff for cheaper than they normally would, sometimes just a bit, sometimes a whole lot of it. Even I have, you know, taken part and sold a dress last year for cheaper just because it's the spirit of Black Friday. I would suggest saving money for not even the day, but the whole weekend and looking around when the time comes. Makeup especially is where I splurge on these days because that is where I get all the goods. Now, if you're not into makeup, then you probably won't really care. But if you are into makeup, definitely save for this time. Too Faced, ColourPop, Lime Crime, Sugar Pill, NYX. What else is there? Black Moon Cosmetics. I don't know. Whatever you're into. There's just so many sales, and at that point it really becomes more of like, okay, I have all this money, but there's so many things. What am I? There's so many good deals. What am I gonna choose? If you love shopping and you love shopping for good deals, it is the one good time of the year to do so. But yeah, that's all I have for now. If you watched the whole thing, hopefully you picked up a trick or two. If not, that's okay. Again, if anyone really cares, I'll maybe try and do a few videos going over some of these steps. Freezing the shoes, starching the petticoat, and repairing the back, probably, definitely, because that is not going to be easy, I don't think. But I hope that it'll be worth it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's all for now. Hopefully you enjoyed. If not, then maybe next time. But yeah, I'll see you. Bye.